Mate, it's a tough one. Hope you guys are here. I'm here. Joe will be here soon. Thursday night. Shame there's no footy on tonight, but we do have the show. So hopefully you guys are watching. Hey, Jono, how you doing, mate? Hopefully you guys are watching. You've jumped in. There's a lot to talk about. There's some stuff that we'll talk about on Fancast tomorrow. But, yeah, the big news of today, obviously Matildas didn't win. But Adam Simpson getting the chop. I know we have a few West Coast fans in the chat who always like to jump on and have you say. But how far away? How far away do you think West Coast are? Like from a rebuild? Hey Joe, mate, look, we're both driving today. It's a bit different, but yeah, it works.
Oh my God! It's the Kardashian duo. Get out of our face, mate.
Funny. It really is the ride home. You know how they've got that dodgy SEN show that's called The Ride Home? This is the bloody ride home because we're riding home.
Literally, it is the ride home. This we should have changed this to the ride home, honestly. Unbelievable. Hey guys, how's it going?
Maybe. We're just talking a bit about Adam Simpson, Joe. Seems to be getting a bit pushed out. Everyone's reporting like, yeah, he's going to have 2 more games and then he's done.
Oh, 2 more games and he's done.
Yeah, because it's their last game versus Adelaide at home. So, yeah, 2 more games and he's done, they reckon.
It's hard to survive when your team is historically, historical lows like this. It's pretty hard to survive because you're the coach that's seen it become this bad. You know what I mean? Like, it was under your lead, under your reign, that this.
I mean, it was also under his reign.
Sort of happened to maintain.
Yeah, it was also under his reign as well when they won that grand final. When they did get 10 wins like 2 years ago, when they were actually finalists as well. So maybe it's a bit of a transition period, like, your Chris Scotts, Brad Scott a little bit, Chris Scott, these coaches that, hey, they left and their teams were still okay, versus it kind of sucks and it's a bit different when, even Stewie Jew to a lesser extent, but it kind of sucks and it's a bit different when you're the coach that's left because your team's kind of been on the bottom of the ladder, right?
Yeah, but his team wasn't on the bottom of the ladder for the whole time. Like he's been at the highs, and they decided, hey, our senior players, our guys are still good enough. We're going to extend them. We're going to keep it going. We're going to keep challenging. They're good enough. And now look at him. So it's for in this sort of situation, it's perfectly acceptable for the coach to fall on his sword, right? Because this is it's not like Stuart who came into
You're a little bit laggy there, Joe.
Can you hear me? Am I fine again?
Yeah. Maybe reduce the quality of your camera if you can. But when you stop anyway. So that's kind of the story of the stuff at the moment. Media controlling who stays and who goes. But, the real question to you guys watching, the 4 people watching so far, type down in the comments. Hopefully we'll get some more people on. But, the big question for you guys is, how long do you think it takes West Coast to bounce back? Because some of their senior players are retiring. And these are guys who've really been the mainstays. I don't think they've got the players coming through that can really cover them. But also, I don't think they've, like Harley Reid, maybe they cut the draft picks. They do a few things that way to kind of rebound. Are you almost bringing a coach in for failure? Kind of like, hey, you can be the coach for the next 3 years, but when we go and rebuild, we're finished the rebuild. Well, we're going to have another coach because it's going to be more successful. Seems a bit shit.
Well, you look at they've got 3 right nations. You know what I mean? Like it's look. Having said that, this week they should not have got it. This week absolutely was Elijah Sardis' week.
Yeah, I think very rarely though. Like I hate it, and it's a concept that the Rising Star have, but I hate it where it's almost like this player's owed like a selection because they had a good week a couple of weeks ago and they weren't picked. So even if they're not the best player that week, like stats wise, they won't win. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because Elijah Sardis beat Elijah Hewitt in every single statistic basically this week. So
except for games played throughout the season, like that's what it comes down to.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
and he had a clutch goal as well. Like, you know what I mean? Like that. But I mean, that's rough. That's disgusting. I can see here some people are saying West Coast are like 5 years away. Look, I'm actually, I'm actually going to agree with them. I'm going to agree because West Coast really are. They're in no man's land right now. There's like a toxic waste. A toxic waste there in the middle of freaking Western Australia. But look, I think there are some youngsters. They're obviously going to have to hit the draft hard, and they're gonna have a really steep learning curve but they probably should have done what Hawthorn did this year, because Hawthorn culled all these experienced players. They traded them away. Some retirement.
The problem is though, you say that, but who's going to take like Luke Shuey on a decent contract? No one's spending a second round pick on Luke Shuey. Maybe on Shannon Hearn they spend that, like a second round pick if you're in North Melbourne and you're desperate for some leadership. But Hawthorn had Tom Mitchell. They had Jaeger O'Meara. They had a few other players, Gunston, who actually had some draft capital. You know, Tom Mitchell was commanding like a late first round, middle first round player. Like, no one's going to pick that up from West Coast. Like, Oscar Allen is the only real one. Oscar Allen's the only one that would have commanded some trade value, and they're not going to get rid of him because he's their best key forward, and he's, 23, 24. So, yeah.
Barras
he's really the only one. Maybe Barras as well. Maybe Barras.
Mate, Barras he's still in demand right now, Barras. And they're like, we're not going to trade him.
I guess kind of the idea as well is that these players have to accept to go. And I know from Tom Mitchell and probably Gunston, maybe not Jaeger. Maybe Jaeger's just like, hey, I want to continue my career. Like, I'm not that great of a player. But I think with a lot of these players too, they realize, hey, maybe our original team's on the bottom of the ladder for a while. We've only got a couple of years left, like in case of Tom Mitchell, because he's going to get to 30. So he's not a spring chicken anymore. Maybe not 30. Maybe he's like 29 now or 28, but you kind of get the idea. Let's go to a team that's actually going to be competing versus someone that we think is probably going to be 3 or 4 years away.
Look, I don't know. I think they could easily trade out Barras to Sydney, get some good currency out of him, and just hit the draft hard. The West Coast have time and time again shown that they're capable of making grand finals on a regular basis. Yeah. It just seems like they are a bit behind. They are very far behind the 8 ball when it comes to this rebuild, though. They really need to hit the draft hard and try and build for a 5-year turnaround to get to where they want to get to, I think.
I don't think they've got the currency either, to be honest.
Man, North Melbourne, you mentioned North Melbourne. North Melbourne absolutely would pay up for experienced players for leadership. All right, I've just arrived home. Gonna go and open it up from the laptop.
Yeah, so that's fine.
I'll see you in a second.
Cool. All right. Yeah, no, I just don't think. I think one of the biggest problems with the West Coast right now is for a period of time, they were almost like what you consider to be the Gold Coast. They were a bit of the B-grade club. They picked up a few players who, you know, were okay at other clubs, but are really kind of like the bottom 10 or so players that you want. And now they're the ones who are almost, with Shuey gone, with Hearn gone, they're almost the ones that are forced to steady the ship. I mean, does even the likes of Jermaine Jones get another job? Does Langdon get another job? Does Zane Trude? All these players that West Coast have actually taken as supplementary list players. They're the ones that they're pushing the demographic. They're like, hey, we've actually got to step up now. Oh, wait, we've got B and C graders to try and do that. It's a really tough one. Yeah, West Coast rule, I agree. You definitely can bounce back, and it might not take as long. But I think you've really got to have a really strong, not even draft, just like trade period. You'll have to tell me the kind of state of the list. But if you're not aiming to get rid of like 5 to 10 players this year, I think you could be in a world of hurt, because from the strength of the list, I just don't think the guys who are there, like the guys there are the ones that are really going to carry you that far. So, yeah, we'll see what happens on that front. Hey, Jen, how you doing? It's been a good Thursday. I promise on Sunday night I'm going to have my team review out. I promise. More than 10 will go. Mate, this is the first time I've heard a West Coast fan, or even just in general. Like North Melbourne have kind of said, yep, we're going to cull the list. We've got to bring players in across the board. I have not heard this from West Coast. We've had Shuey's gone, Nick Nat's gone. Hey, Supercoach Edge. Shuey's gone, Nick Nat's gone, and then someone else, yeah. Hey, Damo and Liam. Let us know if you want to come on Fancast again. I'm not sure if you've been added, but we'll make that happen. Yeah, it's a bit of a tough one. It sucks. Like, if you're a club that's pushing for finals in September, you know, you're doing quite well. On the opposite hand, there's definitely a few clubs like North Melbourne, like West Coast, that are actually going through that. We were talking about the stats the other day and how close kind of like the bottom clubs and the competing clubs are. I think Hawthorn is only like 3 or 4 wins away from being able to play in the finals this year, which is crazy. I think that's absolutely bonkers for a club that's like there and you're, 16th on the ladder? So, yeah, it's a very, very close year. Obviously, you've got to excuse me. Obviously, you've got a couple of clubs who have been slaughtered to make that happen. But otherwise, yeah, it's been tough. Cool. Easy. We'll make it happen. Yeah. So it's a very, very interesting year. But it just goes back to this thing, like I say on every show that I'm on. The strength of the AFL this year is very, very high. It's a lot of very competitive teams. And what that shows is it's being shown by how many clubs can make finals this year and the strength of it, because it's not just a locked-in top 8. We've got games up until the last week where they actually matter. Hey, if this team beats this team, maybe they can play. You know, how often does that really even happen? Not that often.
Here we go. In front of the computer, we're ready to go.
Yeah, I got home pretty quick today.
How's it going, Jen? Hope you're doing well.
West Coast is full of oxygen themes.
Oh, Damo, mate. Damo. On you, Damo. Love Damo. Guys, please subscribe to Supercoach Edge if you haven't already. Jacob Bryant. Tell us more about Jacob Bryant if you can, Jen. We're really excited for him. It looks like he's getting his opportunity. And it would be really, surely with these injuries, is one, McRae going to get a call up, or is this guy just dead to us?
I think he's cooked, Joe. I don't know if he's injured. Yeah, I think he's cooked. He definitely seems like someone who's up for delisting at the end of the year. And yeah, I think he's cooked for a guy that kind of was in and out of our super coach teams for the last couple of years as like a rookie selection. It's a bit sad, you know what I mean?
Right. Okay. It is pretty sad, but surely he'll get a gig somewhere else.
He's done a bit of a Selwood, and he's got a famous brother, but the other brother really couldn't live up to the expectations.
Yeah, but like, come on, like I know, like don't
even
put that much
the West Coast one.
Just don't put that much expectation on the kid. Like have him judge him on his merits.
Yeah, but up to a certain point, right? If you've been in the AFL for like, what is he like? But quickly check for us when he actually got drafted. Like he's been in the system for a few years now. If you're not even pushing for a spot after like
he's 21.
4 or 5 years,
21-year-old. He was drafted in 2020 with pick 19.
So he's been in the AFL system for 3 years, and he's not competing for finals. Like,
I mean, look who he's playing for. He's playing for Collingwood. They're a bloody good team.
No, I know, but like not even on team sheets as an emergency. Like,
has he not been emergency? I don't know. That's rough.
I don't. I think maybe once this year. Once or twice. It's not like it's a reoccurring thing like Ginnivan's been in and out. McRae's just disappeared.
Love you, Damo. Looking absolutely slick, mate. You should have seen me with my tie on before, bro. You should have seen me before. No, I'm just kidding. This is my work attire. No time to change clothes here.
Yeah.
Is super. Damo's saying that that West Coast need to target guys like Gresham to top up their experience and ensure they are competitive.
The problem is that Gresham's not going to West Coast. He's going to stay in Melbourne. He's a guy who's up for free agency, and there's a lot of clubs that are after small forwards, right? So it's just not going to happen.
He's kind of Carlton from what I heard.
Yeah, well, that's it. Like, there's a lot of clubs that are going to be asking for him, and I just don't think that West Coast is in that position. They're not going to play finals anytime soon. This is a guy who's probably on his last real contract before next year, when he's gonna, maybe he's like in his early 30s and he gets like a shitty contract, so he stays. But yeah, they're not going to West Coast, mate. I'm sorry.
He's going to the bin. He's in Gresham to the bin, bro. I wouldn't be so harsh on him, Damo. He's going to Carlton, mate. Don't call your team a bin. John O'Carroll saying that the debutant for the Pies, Jacob Bryan, is an intercept defender, 189 centimeters. So that's not too bad.
Well, you know what that probably means is that Jeremy Howe might play a little bit more forward, because we've known in recent times that's kind of been their flavour, and they definitely need someone to cover his position. So yeah, maybe Jeremy Howe goes a bit more forward this week. Chuck in Ryan as like another one. You know what's a really sucky person, like not sucky person, but situation is Charlie Dean, man. Remember Charlie Dean, Joe?
Oh, his foot injuries, and he's still not back.
Yeah. Like, this is a guy taken in like, was it the PSD or kind of like the rookie draft or the after the rookie draft, and good selection, everything like that. And
you're cutting in and out.
Like, he's just disappeared. He'll play a game and retire the way that he's going with his injuries at the moment.
Nah, don't retire. There's a spot for him on that list. I think they'd love to give games. I think they'd love to put games into Charlie Dean. And I think they'd love to have Frampton be that backup option, that utility player that can play both sides of the ground. I think if Charlie Dean is fit and healthy, I think they'd play him. I think they'd give him game time.
Maybe. I think Billy Frampton, for the amount of money and stuff that they paid for him to come to that club, he has been the best investment in the AFL. Tell you what. Yeah.
Mate, Jono, you are 100% right. Sardis absolutely should have been Sardis. That had the Rising Star Award this week. Absolutely. He was robbed, bro. Not just stiff. He was robbed, mate. It was Wrong Elijah won it this week. Let's see. Causa. Interesting to see how Lloyd Johnston for the Gold Coast goes this week as a defender. Looks like Constable. If he looks anything like Constable, it means he's never going to play any. He'll play these 2 games and then never play again. If he looks like
Constable needs to get a game, considering like the coach that kicked him out's no longer in the team.
Oh, absolutely. You say that, but we've had some games now where
maybe Constable goes and plays for West Coast. Joe?
Sorry?
Maybe he goes and plays for West Coast.
Mate, they'll take anyone at this point, won't they? Jonas, the Kangas already brought in a bunch of recycled, overpaid duds, worse than Carlton 2.0. West Coast can't make the same mistake. Look, I guess the biggest prime example of that might have been the massive contract to Polek. Might forever be a bit of a shame hanging over North Melbourne's head, that Jared Polek deal. But I mean, apart from that, who else are you bringing in that is a recycled, overpaid dud?
No. Well, yeah, that's it. I don't think there's that many. Like, Griffin Logue's an okay key defender. Darcy Tucker's serviceable. We just haven't been able to land anyone, really. So it kind of, we haven't been able to get anyone, so we haven't been able to get anyone. This year, I think we're going to cull a few players and then do some interesting things from what I'm hearing kind of in the trade rumours. Dylan Stevens and a few others. Guys that can come, I think we're at the point of the list where the talent's getting better, which is fantastic. And now it's time that we're bringing in people who are serviceable, the ones who can play roles. You know, hey, can you run all day and not get tired? Okay, you're in the list. Can you play wing and do really well? You're in the list. Versus just like, hey, you have to do 5 different things, otherwise you're not playing best 22. I think kind of the way the list rebuild's going, that's what's going to be like.
Fair enough.
But expecting big things from Clarko's first real year next year in coaching. Hopefully.
Jono versus Causa this week, mate. Place your bets.
That's a big week.
Place your bets. Who you backing in here? I'm backing Causa, Jono. I'm sorry. I'm gonna back Causa in. Mate, Globes, how's it going, Globes? Much love. Right, Big J, beep boop, because you were cutting in and out while you were talking before
sorry.
you got on.
I was walking in and away from my thing. It won't happen again tonight.
Fino's asking, who is your VC and C this week? My VC is Tom Stewart against the Saints at Marvel Stadium. I think he'll do all right. I know I was burnt last week with Stewart's 69, but I just feel like it's very nice. But I think he'll bounce back for me. The Saints give up a shit ton of points to defenders all the time. So I'm going to back in Stewart. And my captain, I'm going to go Bontempelli against West Coast.
Yeah, I don't know who I'm going to pick for vice captain. Maybe Constable doesn't get... I know. When's Gold Coast playing? All right. So I have to pick someone before GWS, probably. Or maybe Dewar. I've got Dewar. He'll never see a game, so maybe I'll go him captain. It's an interesting one. Captain this week, we can't go Daclos, which would have been very nice. Surprising that Collingwood's playing Brisbane at Marvel. I love when they do that. Let's go down the list. Who's a good? Where's Adelaide's playing? They're playing in the middle. Marshall. You can almost go Rowan Marshall, a vice captain, if you want it to be a bit cheeky.
Perhaps.
Yeah. Go balls to the wall and pick Harry Sheasel, vice captain, just for fun.
You could.
Yeah. If you had any of the Carlton boys, you could do that against Gold Coast. That'd be right. Maybe even Zach Merritt. Maybe go Zach Merritt, vice captain, into someone else. They'd do all right. Maybe Merritt into like Bont, just for fun.
Fair enough. Jen, Degoe and Bobby are both out and Sidebottom back in. I think these two outs probably the reason why I've actually moved my tip to Brisbane. I'm actually backing. I think they've got too many injuries over there at Collingwood, so I think that just might be one too many. So I'm probably going to go the Lions to win this game, to be honest. As a result, old man slide bottom back in. John, I'm a Dogs man, and I have a feeling there's going to be some dramatic movement soon on and off field. Mate, John, are you telling us perhaps maybe you're feeling like there could be a change in the guard? Because I don't know, man. I just don't think Bevo is making the most out of this list, and that seems to be the general consensus out there in the media, that this is yet another wasted season by the Bulldogs. Causa, Constable to West Coast, at least who'll outscore Chesser in Supercoach.
Maybe.
Perhaps. Globes, West Coast still needs leadership.
Yeah. And it's tough because I almost feel like it's a thing in the AFL, having leadership, maybe not just leadership, but leadership in the right positions. Like teams that have a really good leader in that back line as kind of that interceptor, the one who can command kind of where the ball goes on the field, makes a huge difference compared to teams that don't have that player. Are really interesting to see next year with Shannon Hearn gone, kind of what happens, because I don't know if Witherden's that player yet, if at all, if he's ever going to be that player. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Oscar Allen will be the next captain. Oh, for sure. I think that's. I mean, who else?
I think he's going to be the next superstar. I don't know if he's got the leadership qualities though.
Oh, I think he will. I think him committing to the team long term is probably a great sign of leadership, and I wouldn't be surprised if he gets it. To be honest, I agree. Damo Rossline has said they will target Stewart. Be careful. Hello, Joel. Oh shit, really? Rossline said that? Oh, piss off, Ross. You dog. They will likely use a similar tactic they did to Sis, where they just adjusted their inside 50 entry method by kicking longer and allowing Sis to drift in for short kicks. Oh, you're giving me something to worry about now, Damo, but I really appreciate that feedback. All right. If it's not him, then what? Am I going Roma? Am I going Rowan Marshall, perhaps? Who else gives up a lot of points? Who gives up a lot of points to stuff? Let's have a look. Let's open up our good friends at DFS Australia. I'm actually just gonna freaking present screen here, if you don't mind. Presenting screen. AFL. I want to get into that. Defense versus position. Last 5. Joe Callum Cuckman Jones says hello and thanks for the money. CCJ all day, baby. All right, so St Kilda. So who gives up a lot of points? So West Coast give up a lot of points to Rucks. So if you've got English, congratulations, you've played yourself. If you are St Kilda, they give up a lot of points to general defenders.
I think West Coast give up a lot of points to everyone. So I don't know if that's really
not to defenders though.
Yeah, because the ball's never there.
That's exactly right.
You have to do a Tom Stewart and walk halfway up the field to get the ball against West Coast.
Essendon stuck against key forwards, but no one's got Hogan, right?
Yeah.
Collingwood lose to forwards and inside mids. You know what? My VC is Dunkley this week. I've changed my mind.
Let's do it.
I'm going VC Dunkley, guys. All right? This is it. He's back at Marvel Stadium. He's back where his heart belongs. He's a bulldog through and through, Dunks. He hasn't embraced the Gabba yet. So he's back home. He's playing against Collingwood, who have some significant injuries. Collingwood give up points to inside mids, and now without Degoe as well, mates, I'm going Dunks. Dunkley is my VC tomorrow night, and my captain will be Bontempelli against the Eagles. There we go. This is what we do. Jen's off to the gym. Work hard for us, Jen. Work hard for us, please. I know I haven't heard this, but we believe in you. Smash out those reps. I'm hearing some whispers that Causa has some huge outs. Ooh. Ooh, that's very sad. Very sad. Causa, pair him and tag for merit this week, I reckon. So it's pretty hard then to if Perriman's going to tag merit. What does that change for you, Causa? What does that change for you, Big J?
Maybe I'll go Dunkley just for fun.
Join in the fun.
Gives me something to watch. Gives me someone to watch. Like when we're playing. You know, I'm a fan cast yesterday, so not today, tomorrow.
Join in the chorus and sing it one and all. We've got the VC on Dunkley. He's gonna smash the ball. I'm going Libba just like last week. Oh, are you that confident in your VC West Coast Eagles rule? Are you that confident? Ross Lyon, we'll put some work into him. We'll probably back our ball movement in first, and then when he's in your area, you're just going to have to take care of him. I don't like that ... at the end there, Damo. That makes me nervous. So that's it. You've convinced me. I'm off him. I'm staying away from Stewie. And then you watch. He'll go freaking bananas this week just to slap me in the face. But I'm going Dunkley. Aaron Hall pass is good value for money. You can count on him playing every week. The Aaron Hall pass. Aaron Hall pass? Am I missing something?
I think he's trying to make a joke. And it's just not working.
Mate, Jonas always makes jokes. Sometimes they go whoosh, and sometimes I get him. Causa. Saints got 29 marks between Battle, Wilkie, and Sinclair. With Sheasel playing Richmond, could be good for VC. Ooh. Richmond give up a lot of points. Richmond give up more points to general defenders. So you're right. Sheasel could do really well this week, Causa. You're right. But I'm going to back in Dunkley playing under the roof, back at his spiritual home, and he's gonna take it. This is a statement game, a really important game between Collingwood and Brisbane, and I think Brisbane really want to take advantage of the fact that Collingwood are injured, and they really want to bolster up that percentage to finish second. They want to host Port Adelaide, really, or Melbourne. They want a home final really badly. I can see him going balls to the wall this week. You watch Dunkley. He's going to be a man possessed. I believe it. Mate. Harry, how's it going, Harry? Causa jinxed merit last week. Well, he's calling it now, so it's all right. Big J's moved off merit. He's not going to go merit this week anymore. Howe and Shields, I think, are old ass rookies.
That's okay. That's fine. Jeremy Howe's not even playing. He doesn't play for North Melbourne.
Yeah, probably. Exactly. I don't know. Bolton VC. Shy Bolton?
Potentially. He's a bit of a maniac at the moment, and he's one that if you could have picked up at 400K, would have been bloody fantastic. I
can't trust Shy Bolton.
I don't think North has anyone to stop him, really. And especially MCG kind of being able to run and do a bit more. I think he's going to be great.
Yeah, I don't know. Surely there's better options than Bolton.
Probably. But
like I trust Dunkley more than Shy Bolton.
Yeah, people look for pods though.
I don't know how many people are going VC dunks.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, Brad, how's it going? Guys, if you haven't subbed to Supercoach Pro, there he is, mate. Look how jacked he is. I can only wish I could one day be as jacked. Good to see you with us and not on a Tinder date, mate. It's nice of you to be here. So, mate, the Tigers, they're talking about Sheasel running rings around you, mate. How do you feel about that? You got to defend your boys' honours. I went Libba captain, so don't worry about that. Mate, Merritt into Libba would have been an unbelievable last week. Dunkley into English for Theo. Yeah, if you got English, mate, you're smooth sailing. If you got English, you are. He's talking about Daniel Howe Causa, bro, not Jeremy Howe.
Yes, that was the joke. That was the joke.
Joe is mentally and spiritually jacked, bro. I'm going bonkers, bro. I can't contain my excitement. These are my bags. They're just about ready to go. I'm going to fly away. I'm going to fly, guys. This is my last live stream before I'm in America. Ooh, I'm excited. Globes, super trade. Oh, all right. You got my attention, mate. Parrish to the Suns for pick 5 and a future first. Harry Mack to the Dons for pick 5 and 6, along with his brother. Mate, we got to get you in the Bombers, bro. We got to get you in the club.
They do that trade too. They do that trade too, to be honest. They do it.
No way they do that trade.
Yeah.
Mate, Global, quickly, get on the phone with Dodoro. Quickly, get on the phone with Dodoro. Tell him to get it done. Brad, no Tinder dates for a while, to be honest. Also, I might VC Shees. He will score 125 plus, I think, too. Tiger's going to miss finals, though. No, Tom Lynch has killed us. Mate, I can't even imagine, like, how massive of an out he was for your forward line this year. He, one of your leaders, one of the best players in the comp. People are quick to forget that Tom Lynch is honestly one of the best players in the whole competition.
Yeah, he's really good.
So he was a massive out for you guys.
Maybe he'll be a good pickup in Supercoach.
Maybe.
We'll see what happens.
Well, you're going to have an easier draw next year because you're missing the finals. So that's one thing to sort of be excited about, I guess. You might have an easier draw, might make finals next year. Could play North Melbourne twice next year. You never know. Boys, who do you think? Ryan, Doc, or Witherden as a pod for Dacos? Luke Ryan, Doherty, or Witherden? I don't know. Doherty, I guess. Isn't Doherty killing it these days?
There's some concern at the moment that Doherty's got that cork. So we'll just.
Oh, right. Yeah. I wouldn't do that then. Yeah, you're right. I wouldn't do that.
Probably nothing will happen. Like, he might just be fine, but there's definitely some concern there.
How's Luke Ryan been doing these days? Luke Ryan, 3-round average of 94, 5-round average of 99. He's not setting the world alight, but he could have a decent game this week against Port Adelaide, and then you got Witherden. Jeez, Witherden is Alex Witherden, 104 average, 107.65 round. Bro, go Witherden, man. Just go Witherden. Have some fun with the game. There's only a couple of weeks left. You want a pod? Go Witherden, I reckon. The ball's living in that back line at West Coast Eagles. It's absolutely living there. And he's going to get a lot more supply up against the Bulldogs this week. So, mate, I reckon Witherden's the pick. As crazy as that might sound. All right, let's have a look at the AFL website. Let's have a look at this blog. Let's have a look at this blog that they got going on here. Site on point. All right. What's happened in recent times? Looks like for AFLW team announcements will be Thursday 6:20 each week. Yep. So good for working out. Yeah, yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. Thursdays and Fridays. So Friday team sheets for the Sunday game, and then Thursdays for the other one. So we might even be able to keep keep the cast stream going for a while. So yeah, it should be all right.
Parrish is a free agent, and SN's plenty of space in the salary cap. Has Adrian Dodoro not offered him enough money to stay? That's what it is. That's exactly what it is, Jonas. He wants to stay, and we're being a bit stingy with the money. We don't want to overpay for anybody, and that includes Darcy Parrish. So we're trying to leverage this.
You've got to be able to fit all these people in. You're going to offer Mackay $800K. You're going to offer all these other guys, and then you've got your young stars at the moment who are going to be asking for decent contracts over the next couple of years. Like, exactly. You don't want to end up in a Collingwood situation where you offer Parrish a lot of money, you offer a couple of others, and then you've got all these young superstars. Because BCT is going to be saying, hey, give me that contract. I've got clubs saying they want me. So, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Now, I think we're being not frugal, but we're trying to be smart with our money, Jonas, because you have to be. And then obviously there's going to be Tasmania coming around soon as well, and they're going to be throwing money at people. So you want to try and lock in players to long-term deals to get them away from the grasps of the Tasmania. So, and
if you've ever wondered why this year so many players have now signed till like 2028, 2029, it's because of not Gold Coast, it's because of Tasmania. Like, Tassie's going to come in 26, 27 and start saying, hey, we want all your superstars. You guys are up for contract. Come over here. Come over here. So now, even if the players leave, the clubs have got a lot more in terms of compensation than what it would be. The big thing for AFLW as well is I think this week the games are all going to be televised.
Yes,
it's the first week of actually official practice games. So we'll have the stats. We'll kind of know the positions, things like that. And we'll do a bit of reporting on that next week.
Ooh, the lizard. I love the lizard. I have such a soft spot in my heart for the lizard. Honestly, I love the Liz. Also, another thing, Jonas. Brad Scott was the general manager of football at the AFL, in football operations. He knows what every single player is getting paid. And he knows which players are getting overpaid and which ones are getting underpaid. So he is playing. They were playing hardball, bro. We're playing hardball with the money.
Yeah, I think that's a bit dodgy that happened, but it is what it is, right?
It is what it is.
We've got one person in the AFL that kind of knows everyone's secrets, and now he's coaching another team. Like, yeah, cool. That's really fair for everyone else, isn't it?
Mate, we're smart. We big brain here. Bont VC, if we can do it. Gee, Bont VC,
mate. Who would you say? We've got Bont VC, like someone from the Melbourne game. Well,
you have to loophole someone. Do you have Do you have a non-playing player from any of these two games that you can VC? That you can have a loophole? I don't know, bro. That's pretty crazy. Look, Sicily might do okay. I wouldn't do that. Still paying Shield, bro. Shield's gone soon. Don't worry, Jonas. Shield will be gone. Don't worry about it. And Chick is a cap killer, bro. Chick
Shield should go to West Coast, kind of rejuvenate his career. What do you reckon?
Yeah, maybe, bro. Set a goat. We got him for cheap. Don't worry. From you blokes, we got him for very cheap, and Wiedemann also very cheap, because he was going to get delisted. These guys were going to get delisted from their team. So they're on nothing, bro. They're on no money whatsoever. It's all money ball, Bazball. It's Brasco ball. Globes, I was shocked when I was looking back at the past drafts today to see some absolute steals of the past few years and to see how many dud picks. Jacos was around 57. Well, he's a father-son.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and back in those days, unless you were like a super insane gun, clubs knew that like you were going to go to the club that you were going to. So they just didn't bid on players either.
Correct. Luke Ryan was in the 60s.
Yep. Yeah, I think Sicily was fairly late as well. I think there's a few players who are around that like really late mark in the draft. Just check. 56.
56th pick.
So 55 picks went before Sicily, and we know how much of a gun this guy is. Like, clubs are just nuffers, mate.
100%.
Crazy. So. Like, Sean Darcy was pick in the 40s, I think. Like, yeah. It's, we know Nick Martin when he got picked.
Rookie, bro. He joined the club as a freaking rookie. Get around us, mate. That's how we do it.
There you go. Larky and Lewis were picks in the 70s for the 2016 draft. Like, I think there's a real, as list sizes have got smaller, a lot of the development players haven't been coming through. But I think just list management in general over the past 5 or 6 years has actually got a lot better as well. So, yeah, pick some players who weren't, who were taken later on. I don't even know if they would have seen the light of day under these new list managers. Stats, everything else, kind of there's a lot less free picks than what there has been post-COVID.
Yeah. Gorney for seed this week against Hawthorn. I don't know.
Yeah, you can do it. You can do it. I think it's going to be a competitive game. Did Hawthorn beat them recently, or am I going crazy?
You're going crazy.
Okay.
Do you have Bennett from Hawks or Sin? He's got Sin. Julian's got Sin. But still, I think. Look, I mean, you could go Gornsey if you wanted. You could do VC 110 to 320. It's very close.
Hey,
I mean, you can tell, I guess.
Yeah. Supercoach Insider boys, if you're still on, check your Twitter.
John, I have them both, but I wish there was an alternate universe where I could loophole Bonds and English this week. Maybe next year when English is playing for West Coast.
You know when you can do it? You can do it during the bye. So you can put the captain on one and then the vice captain on the other one. And you can
exactly
lose them a day during their bye. Like, no one's stopping you doing that if you want to do that.
You can literally loophole them during the off-season. In a couple of weeks' time, the season will be done. You can loophole them all day, every day, Jono.
Yep.
Toad, how's it going, mate? Nice of you to come on. 4 minutes. 4 minutes, and the teams will be out. So we're really excited for that. Obviously, we know of some of the changes that are coming Collingwood's way against Brisbane, with DeGoey out, Bobby Hill out, Darcy Moore out. So we know they're going to be out guaranteed. What do you reckon? Do you reckon? I mean, this is good coach talk, right? This is good coach. This is what a good coach is meant to say, right? What do you reckon? Who wins this game, Collingwood or the Lions? I'm backing Lions. So I'm backing them because this is a really important game, massive ramifications.
Here we go.
Look at the ladder.
Yeah, and Brisbane need to have a bounce back as well. From memory, they've kind of struggled. So
1 goal against Adelaide and 3 points against Freo. So they haven't been terrific.
No.
So they're going to really need to bounce back. And then that was a shocking loss to the Suns before them as well. Yeah. So
that was funny.
Yeah, I couldn't believe what I was saying. If I recall, that was a really bizarre week of football. That Gold Coast Suns versus Brisbane Lions week. So, look, I reckon the Lions, they got to do it. If they can bolster their percentage enough, you never know. They might be able to knock off Collingwood, perhaps. If Collingwood lose both games.
It's a long way to go with like 2 games left. Collingwood would really have to get slaughtered.
By us and by and that's not going to happen. We're not slaughtering them. Exact Globes. Have you guys done your All Australian team?
Not yet. It'll happen.
We'll do that in a video.
Yeah.
I'll probably be overseas at that point though. But I will try and we'll definitely have to have an All Australian team done. Absolutely. So let's go back to here. Anything new? Man, I love the Lizard. Honestly, he's got a soft spot. Pressure builds.
Yeah, we were talking about that before, Joe.
It says 2 minutes ago in the live blog.
Yeah, I know, but we were talking about that before.
Yeah. So I don't know. Pretty impressive. Come on, 2 minutes. Hurry up! I want the teams. Give me the goddamn teams. It's like I've got like an itch. Give it to me. Give it to me. Let me go look, see if there's any other news elsewhere. Daniel Lloyd has retired, which is pretty good for him. Well done. Congratulations, Lloyd. And Paul Seedsman retires as well. So that's it. Just adds to the continuous string of players who are retiring from this game.
Yeah. So. Yeah, and there's a lot of guys, and we'll see that over the next couple of years too, where players who were kind of that fringe type of player, instead of going on for an extra year or two like they have, the pressure for list spots has actually forced them out of the team.
Oh, Finn Callahan's not playing this week because of his continued Achilles injury. That's good for the Bombers. That's good for us. It's good, very good for us.
You might get a win.
Nah, we're not going to win this game. We're not going to win this. They're going to get back Brett Daniels and Toby Bedford. bro, we're not winning this game. We're playing over there. They're in great form. No, not really. They've lost the last 2 games, but still.
Let's go,
they're not
Joe.
bad. Oh,
Let's check out
finally. I've been dying for this. All right, we'll go fixture. All right. Lineups. Here we go, lads. It's time. It's time. Robbie Hill out, we know. Moore out, we know. DeGoey out, we know. Jacob Ryan in new, we knew. And thanks to Jen, we knew that side bottom was in too. For the Lions, Gunston injured. We knew that from last week. Kitty Coleman comes
Darcy
in.
Wilmot, man. This guy's going to be 500K by the end of the year.
Mate, unbelievable.
I
So
think
Darcy
he's going
Wilmot
to end up
stays.
making the most amount of money out of any rookie, barring Ashcroft, who started at a bigger price.
So Kitty Coleman, he plays half back.
Yep.
They lose a forward and they bring in a defender. So someone
Yeah,
from
but players
defense
can move around, right?
Yeah, but someone from the back line's probably going to be playing more forward this week then.
Yeah.
That's got to be how that works, right?
Potentially.
You can't not. Yeah. So VC on dunks for this one for me. Same thing for you. And Are we both back in the Lions here to win this game?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Lions by 10 points?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. Alrighty, that's that game. We then move to your boys playing against Richmond.
Jack Siebel's last game.
Ben Cunnington's been managed.
You should put
Wardlaw's
retired.
been managed.
Why they got managed? Just put retired.
Is Wardlaw retiring as well?
No, just go Cunnington.
Lazaro's
Corn
dropped.
would love that.
Archer's been dropped. And Stevenson's injured. In comes Daniel Howe, Hugh Greenwood. He's a big in for you guys, actually. He's a good player, Greenwood. Powell is in and Phillips is in. So bolstering the midfield a bit. Meanwhile, over there for the Tigers, Jacob Hopper, 2 great ins, and Koch, the retiring maestro from Richmond. I will never call him a Brownlow medalist. And they are in for the Tigers. Mansell's a sub. Coltart's been dropped and Bauer's been dropped. Hard to go past Richmond in this game, yeah?
Yeah.
30 plus?
No, I don't think it'll be that much. We haven't given away that much in a long time. And I think kind of being Siebel's last game, they're going to fight. But I don't think we're going to win. So, yeah.
So you reckon
Not
by
that a win matters.
21 points?
They've got pick 2 and then West Coast have got pick. They've got pick 1, so it doesn't really matter too much.
Richmond by about 21 points then, perhaps?
17.
17? All right.
Yeah. It'll be a close game, and then they'll kick a couple right at the end. We'll be like, oh, sorry.
Very well then. We then move to the Suns hosting the Blues over there at home. The Heritage Bank. Gee, that's a freaking essay here. Oh, big Harry Mackay. Big H is back in for the Blues. Lockie Fogarty was injured. And congratulations to Cottrell and Cunningham, both playing their 50th game. This is a massive in for the Blues, Big J.
Mm-hmm.
Do they
it's
lose
actually
now?
going to be interesting to see kind of something that I've talked about before about Harry Mackay and Curnow. I don't think Curnow is going to be kicking that many goals, to be fair. Just kind of the way the situation's going and things like that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Gold Coast are just going to give them away. But whenever they both play, it feels like Curnow's, they'll target Harry a few more times than what they would have given the ball to Curnow that time. So, yeah.
Meanwhile, for the Suns, there's an essay here. McPherson dropped.
It's always
Holland
an essay, isn't it?
dropped.
You have to kind of look at the numbers, though, and say, hey, who in that kind of essay are players they might be giving, retirement games to? There's 2 games left. So Lloyd Johnson's probably going to get played, as he's named in the middle, new player. Yeah. Fiorini probably there. Connor Buderick, is he really best 22? And maybe he gets a game or 2 to, sweeten the trade deal, that kind of thing. But these teams, you'll see it with other clubs as well, where give those players those retirement games, really.
Yeah, exactly. So, look, there are a lot of people out there that are saying that this is a real danger game for Carlton.
No chance. Mate,
I can't believe it.
$1.60 at the moment. Put $1,000 on that and you make a bit of money because Carlton are not losing this game. There is no way that Carlton lose this game.
Disclaimer: we do not give financial advice. We do not condone gambling. If you're going to gamble, gamble responsibly. All the Big J's comments are his alone. I have nothing whatsoever. All legal mumbo jumbo. I've got nothing to do with that call for people to invest. You can invest your money however you like. You can tip the Suns if you want. I have not told anyone to spend $1,000 on the Blues, but I also am confident in the Blues. Having said that, the Blues should win this handsomely, I reckon.
There you go down.
Because we're going to say we then move to my boys going over. Oh, Global is asking if we're going to Crown tomorrow.
Yeah, I think there's a thing happening. Yeah. Like they're doing Supercoach at Crown tomorrow. So maybe I'll speak to Dave Joe and see, hey, we're going to do Fancast or we're going to come down? Because it might just be me and you again. So we'll see. Maybe we make a surprise appearance at Crown.
Yeah, I don't know. Look, if Fancast's not on, then I probably won't go. I might just use the time wisely to continue packing my bags and make sure everything is fine. But yes, there might be a guest appearance at Crown tomorrow. We then move to the Bombers, to the Bombrays, heading over to the Giants. Interesting odds here. That's it. The two big ins for the Giants and two massive ins for the Bombers. Oh, this is going to be one heck of a game. Brett Daniels and Toby Bedford in. McMullen, I love that name. Nick Haynes' illness and illness
that he told the coach he's not going to play for them anymore. Remember when Aiden Core had a few weeks of illness before he decided to leave?
Mental illness. It's mental illness, perhaps. Stringer and Draper. Oh, the whole team changes him. And Nick Bryan, of course, makes way for Draper. Snelling was the sub. And I can't help but feel so sad for Kane Baldwin. I love this dude. He doesn't deserve to be dropped.
It's crazy to think, like, this game is a real must-win game for either. Because if you guys make it, then you're in the finals. If GWS make it, then you're in the finals. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Huge wins. Huge in Global, mate. The team is entirely different now. Just from these two. Can you imagine how we've been able to play games without Sammy Draper? Without Jake Stringer? Mate, Sam Draper's missed half the season. I can't imagine an Essendon team without Sam Draper. And yet here we are, still in the hunt for finals, mate. Get around us. BZT's 50th game is the only real sour note because we suck at milestones. And whenever there's a milestone game, you know we're going to lose. So it's going to take one hell of a performance for us to get up here. Jake Stringer starting on the bench. John Renzi, mate. Guys in the chat, do you give the Bombers any chance? Please. I want to hear from you. Global and I obviously are big Bomber supporters, but please, from non-Bomber fans, tell us, are we any chance of knocking off the Giants to make finals? Because obviously these two are massive ins for us. They really are. Sam Draper, Jake Stringer, as long as they're healthy, as long as they're fit and healthy, they completely transform the dynamic of this team. If Stringer is like half done, if Stringer's not going to be playing 100%, he will just be a liability for us. But on paper, it looks good. It looks very good. I wouldn't be surprised. Mate, Setterfield's an emergency. That's not too bad. I wouldn't be surprised if Kane Baldwin is a late in. I would not be surprised at all. We are playing like shit. No hope. I appreciate it, you, for dousing my enthusiasm very quickly here. Yeah, all right, not bad. Look, Elijah Slardis named on the line in the middle, which is very nice. I don't know. Look, I'm hopeful. I probably shouldn't be hopeful, but I'm hopeful, and it's the hope that kills you, as they say. I'm going to take the Giants, but in my heart, I have a sneaky suspicion we could win this. We can. We can. All right. You heard it here first. We can win this. All right. We then come to. This is another elimination final. It's a freaking another elimination final here. St. Kilda hosting the Cats at Marvelous Stadium. No changes for the Saints. Hard to change a winning side like that. Plus, they were basically full strength anyway. They're basically full strength, so there's no point anyone coming back in. Ooh, huge in for the Cats. Tom Hawkins is in. Brandon Parfit out. Good. He is shit. He's
the best player in the AFL. What are you talking about?
Brandon Parfit is
Yeah, he's very par fit. He's par, and then his fitness is par. They kind of work.
Oh no, he is so bad. Gary Rowan injured.
That was a bad joke, everybody.
Reece Stanley. Ooh, no Stanley, bro. It could be a Rowan Marshall on the cards here without Stanley and without Blixarves as well. Who's their ruck? Shannon Neal. Yo, this could be a good game for Rowan Marshall.
Yeah, I told you, Rowan Marshall.
Do I go Rowan Marshall or do I go Dunkley now? God damn.
Who are you going to pick as your captain?
That's true.
Yeah.
Rowan Marshall's my captain this week. I don't know. Yeah, see, Causa mentioned it. Stanley out good for Marshall VC this week. Has Neil in the ruck. Oh, cheers, Globes. Yeah, guys, if you hit like, yeah, it's free. It's easy to do and helps us out. Really appreciate it. John, I give you guys a chance, but being a doggies man, I'm back West Coast against UWS.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. We beat the Pies last round. Bro, hopefully, if we can beat the Pies last round and we miss finals, that would be just the most Essendon thing in the world. Jono, Billings to be the sub, in my opinion, and it Saints to win by 8
and
points.
it's going to be interesting too because I think Billings is going to get traded at the end of the year.
Jack Billings.
I don't think he's good enough. Maybe he goes to West Coast with their rebuilding team.
He's not meeting up the Billings, bro. He's not matching up. Saints will win by 8 points, he reckons. Alrighty. It's parfait Shrek. It's parfait Shrek.
It's par shit.
Par shit, bro. No, he is actually the worst player in the league. They're actually better with him out of the side. But Tom Hawkins is in, and Jed Buse is actually a very handy in as well. So that's not bad for the Cats, to be completely honest. Higgins playing 100. Congratulations to him. And Max Holmes playing his 50th games. Safe as houses he is. All right, who wins this game?
I've got some kills up. Yeah, done. Global. Let's do it.
You reckon St Kilda win this game? Really? So you're basically condemning Geelong to missing out on finals this year? Even with Hawkins in?
Huh?
Even with Hawkins in, you don't reckon the Cats can win this game?
Maybe. I've gone St Kilda, but maybe.
Look, the Saints and I just don't mix. We're oil and water. Every time I tip the Saints, they lose, and every time I tip against them, they win. I literally have no way. I've surrendered to the fact that I just simply cannot read the Saints. Okay. Now, what do I want to happen? I want them to lose. So I'm going to tip the Saints that they go against me. All right.
Thanks, Joe.
Always smash the like button. Oh, John, much love, bro. Much love for you, John. Really appreciate it, mate. All right. So we're both going St Kilda to win in, is it an upset? Yes, it is an upset. $2.30 for the Saints.
Yeah.
All righty. Upset on the cards. You heard it here. All right. We then move to Adelaide Oval, where the Crom host the Swamp. Crows, good favourites. Nice, strong favourites.
Adelaide at home. They don't really lose that many games, right?
No. Rankin's in, which is very, very handy for it. Nankervis has been dropped and Pedler's been dropped. So if you're getting dropped, then you're not a hindrance to the team. Meanwhile,
Sportsnut, how you doing?
Sportsnut, how's it going, mate? Thanks for coming on. Meanwhile, Braden Campbell, that's a good in. Dane Rampy, freaking goalpost Rampy is in. He's a massive in. And Jack Buller, rookie, I guess. France has been dropped. Amadi's injured. Roberts is dropped, and Clark was a sub. Dude, these are two strong teams now. Nick Blakey, Lizard, 100 games. Congratulations. And Shane McAdam, well done, 50 games. But I agree with you, Sportsnut, mate. Isaac Rankin is a huge in playing at home. I like the Crom. I'm back in the Crows here.
Yeah, I think so. Those who I've tipped, Adelaide at home is too strong. They're just too good.
Look, a massive respect. Look,
I think it's their last home game for the year as well, so I don't expect them to really lose.
If the Crows can send someone to Errol Goulden, then they will guarantee the win. Errol Goulden, as long as Errol Goulden is off the leash, Sydney are in it to win it. He is that good. This guy, Errol Goulden, is that good. He single-handedly, when he rises, the whole team rises with him. So if Adelaide can send someone as a run-with role, the same way that Gold Coast did to Errol with Tuke Miller last week, if they can do that, I don't know who it is. If they're going to put a Keys, for example, on Errol Goulden to just to get in his way, then I think it's a lock for Adelaide to win. Whereas I don't think there's any one player that Sydney can nullify against Adelaide to win the game. Great. Thank you for that input. I really appreciate it. Causa got 20 this week now. Oh, 20 plays for Causa. Oh, no. No Robertson.
Naughty.
All right. Yeah, I changed my tip. Causa, you're not winning. I'm sorry. I'm back in Jono. Had the worst end to the season. Look, it's unlucky, bro. It is what it is.
I have 20. How many do I have? You have like 20, 24 players this week. Ooh, bit tricky.
How many do I have? We've got all of these dudes, dudes, plus Mills, plus Johnson, these dudes, all these dudes, plus
you got
Marriott.
a lot more than me.
Bruv, that's just a lot more money too.
DPP in the back line. That's all you needed.
That's all I needed, bro. I just needed some DPP. But alas, not to be.
It's Wagner time, Joe. It's Wagner time.
It's Wagner time.
Oh, yeah, John, I got the Wagner roast. That's it.
Do you guys have any plans for visits through the off-season or taking a break for a while? Tell him, Big J. Tell him.
We've got AFLW happening, so we're going to try and do that every week. Talk about who we're bringing in, kind of how the games have gone. Then we'll do some stuff with the trade period and things like that as well. So I think maybe like November, we'll get a bit of downtime, but yeah, try and keep something going. I know that the uploads haven't been great in the last couple of months, and sorry about that. We have been doing the live streams every so often. So if you jump in for those, it's been like 4.5 hours worth of content plus every week. It's just live stream versus, small videos. But yeah, we'll definitely do some stuff over the off season. Hopefully put in some more trade type videos as well. And even maybe do some kind of trade reactions and things like that. Maybe do some, hey, this is what's happening during the week with the trade period and stuff. So yeah, it should be pretty good.
And we'll do team reviews the same way.
We'll build the channel, which is what I want to do. Next year, we're going to try and double the amount of subs. So next year's preseason, mate, don't watch anything else because Centre Bounce is going nuts.
Yeah, we'll do some team reviews the same way we did last year during the preseason. This
we'll
year,
get some of you guys on as well. Remember in the preseason last time when we did our team reviews, we got some fans on. So we'll definitely have you guys. Obviously, there has to be, you have to meet the requirements, have a webcam or something like that on that you guys can talk to. So yeah. We have that on. More than happy to have a couple of you guys on.
And the traditional annual interview of the Supercoach winner. So
if we can, of course. We can't guarantee. They might just be like, no, not happening. And we also have to do our league winners as well. So that video is coming out just after the regular season, maybe during the bye period. So stay tuned for that. You might have won a cool prize. Who knows?
You may have. English Jonas Scott. English will be enjoying a relaxing BJ on Sunday. That he will. That he will, Jonas. A lot of fellatio there. So we'll come to this game right now. Dorks versus Eagles. Who would have thought that a high-flying bird of prey is going to be absolutely ripped to shreds? Libba out is huge. Greg Clark suspended in. Callum Jamieson in. Petruccelli in. Ryan Marich is in, for those who were relying on him to play. He's back in this week, which is good. And Zane True, Luke Cleary, Lockie McNeil, Jordan Sweet, Anthony Scott. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You could have Joe. You could have Joe here, Big J here, Damo here. You got Brad here. You could legit have any of us be the ins, and we'd still beat the living shit out of the Eagles at this point.
I've heard something interesting that North's trying to poach Jordan Sweet as another ruckman. So see how it goes. He's been all right, kind of as a pure ruck when he's played. So maybe that's why he's getting a bit of a shout at the moment. I doubt he'll get picked for the game, but we'll see what happens.
Bro,
Yeah,
English
mate, the whole team's going to go huge. I hate the fact that I've got Jack McRae in my team. Yeah. John, half our videos are funny. We're going to have so much stuff. I would have loved to do like a blooper reel of us trying to like do stuff for videos. Maybe something for next year. I'll have something running, but yeah, definitely.
Alrighty. We then move to, this is an interesting game. Interesting game for your boys, Sportsnut. Coming off 2 great wins in a row. They knocked off the Pies, then knocked off the Doggies. Can they keep it up and knock off the D's, who are reeling from a loss last week? Hibbard, this was the sub. Tomlinson, interesting in. Laurie, Spargo, Shaki. Henry Hustwaite. Is he going to play, Sportsnut? Where is he named? No, he's there. McDonald, Wingard's done for the year. Mitch Lewis, injured. Ned Long, Ramsden, Sarong, Hustwaite, Brockman, and Brandon Wright. Yeah, not really inspiring, these ins. I don't have a good feeling. We've got 2 big outs, but who knows? Yeah, no, I agree. Sportsnut, you're not winning this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, mate. You're not winning. Maxi Gorn, 200. The 200 for Big Max. We are not worthy.
Yeah.
We are not worthy. And Alex Neil Bullen, his 150th. So the Bulldogs will keep naming him to up his grade.
It's interesting, right? Because it's I think there's tall players. Maybe we'll have to give up, like if he comes across, give up a future second or a future third, something like that, to get him across, because tall players who can actually play are worth something regardless of what team they are, or where they played in the VFL, really.
Oh, this trio, man.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's
back.
There's not much better.
It's back. Harry, what the hell has happened to Seamus? Typical Sam Mitchell. Yeah, he's not even like.
It's pretty funny.
He's just disappeared. Seamus Mitchell has just been. He's just been disappeared. I don't know why. He's been. Look, we can be happy that Seamus Mitchell actually played some games, unlike Constable, right?
Yep.
So yeah, Melbourne by 35.
Yeah, I think
35.
so. I don't think it's going to be 30. I think Melbourne's going to win. Maybe if Hawthorn have a couple of late outs, but Hawthorn have been competitive. So if Melbourne give them, if Melbourne come, it doesn't matter though.
That's huge for a young team.
They'll find a way. They'll find a way.
No, I'm sorry. You watch. It'll be 35 plus.
All right.
I'm sorry.
It says 30 points, so watch out. That's all I'm hearing.
Put your money on it. If you're going to put money on it, gamble responsibly. We got the Dockers.
Gamble responsibly.
If you're going to gamble responsibly. I do not give financial advice. Dockers hosting Power in what is, I reckon this is up there with the more interesting of these fixtures. Like, I don't know. Like, it's a bizarre one to me. Michael Walters out. Travis Collier, surely he's retiring. Emmett, never heard of him. Nathan Wilson and Bailey Banfield. Meanwhile, Hugh Jackson Mead, and Travis Boak. Is Boakey done, you reckon, or Boakey has another year in him?
I think they take him on for another year. I don't think they're a club that will get rid of him.
Fair enough. Huge action, and Tom Emmett. So, yeah. Look, I'm gonna back I'm going to back the Port Power for this.
All right, 1 second.
But not with much confidence. I don't know. I just feel like the Dockers have sort of turned things around a bit. I think they're playing a lot more consistent, reliable football these days. Port Adelaide have had a lot of changeover in their team. I thought they were really good against Geelong. They obviously were really good last week. They're a good side, the Power. That's why I'm going to back them in. But I would not be surprised if this was an upset. I'll just say that here. Constable must be fooling around with Kingy's wife once he's done with Dewey's. You just got to better hope he's not doing anything to Damien Hardwick's wife right now, because looks like Duma Hardwick's going to be named the coach, John. And look, if Constable can't get named with 3 different coaches, then we know that the common denominator is that he has done something unforgivable, John. If Constable doesn't get played by Duma Hardwick, then he's screwed. He's done.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
What do you reckon? What's your tip for this game? Freo versus Port Power. Who wins this one?
I don't think Freo are winning anything. I think Port Adelaide's going to demolish them.
Demolish them?
Yeah. I don't think Port care where they play. I think Port's going to smack them around. Just be like, hey, thanks, cool. See you later next week.
So what? You reckon this is what, 30, 40 points?
30 plus.
30 plus.
30
West
plus
Coast teams coming off the bye struggle. Freo no hope.
Yeah.
He's called his team the bye. That is unbelievable.
There you go.
Wow. Bro, we almost lost to the bye. 1 point, bro. We almost drew with the bye. So, and yet we still managed to beat North. So there you go. We've bucked the trend, mate.
That's all right. It happens.
Yeah. Oh, so you guys really reckon the Dockers are going to get destroyed here? Why do I
reckon they're going to get slapped? Joe, I reckon the Dockers are going to get slapped.
All right. If you say so. I don't know. I have a sneaky suspicion Port are going to win by maybe only 15 points.
Maybe.
All right. That's it. So if what happens, as we've predicted, because we haven't gone opposite in anything, right? We've both gone Lions to win by roughly 10 points.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go. Sports Night agrees with me. He's going Port by 13. I've said Port by 15. So everyone beats North. Yeah, true. Everyone beats you guys too, apparently, but we almost didn't. So
when you've lost 19 games in a row, what else are you going to say? Nah, we win some games. It is what it is.
Sometimes, in some years. So Brisbane to win by about 10. We've gone. You reckon it's going to be not a smashing for Richmond to win? Sports Night. It will be either Port 0-18 or Port by 50 plus. No in between. Interesting. Fair enough. I'll take that on board. John, been waiting all year for the Dogs to play West Coast. Knowing our luck, they'll sack Simpson this week and play a blinder. You know what they say? The curse is true. Every time a coach gets sacked, they win. All right. So Richmond would beat North Melbourne, not by much. We go on Carlton to win comfortably. That's roughly 25 points.
Yeah, I think
25 points.
Yeah.
We both got the Giants beating the Bombers by, again, roughly 25, you reckon? Or was that too much?
Too much.
Around 10?
13 points.
That's about that. Then we got the Saints against Geelong. We're both going the Saints. Why the hell are the Saints so... That's not right. How much do you reckon the Saints win by?
By 4 points.
Oh, well, the freaking AFL website. Calm down.
That's changed some real stuff if they only lose by 4 points. How does Geelong go up? What?
Because we lose by... Are we that close on percentage? What the hell?
You must be.
Adelaide to beat the Swans by about 13 or more. We'll just leave it like that, conservative. And then Dogs to beat Melbourne by Dogs to beat West Coast. That's what 75.
You'd had to have. You would have hated to do the game for the Sydney game versus West Coast, right? where it's like the predictor doesn't go that high.
It doesn't go that high. We'll say
Whoops.
75 points. You reckon?
Yeah, sure.
And then Melbourne versus Hawthorn. I reckon it's gonna be. You reckon it'll be close? You said like 15 points, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's about that. And then Port. You said Port. I'm gonna smack him.
Yeah,
That's
that's about right. Yeah,
that's about 40 points there. So if that happens, have we done anything for round 24, or is it free? Oh no, we got to clear these out.
Yeah,
How do we clear
just
these
leave it.
out?
Oh, we got to clear them out.
All right. So if that happens,
We haven't cleared Melbourne. Go back to Melbourne.
oh sorry.
There you go.
Thank you. So if this happens as predicted,
Yep.
we got Collingwood still on top, Brisbane close in,
Yep.
Port close in, but their percentage is pretty bad. So you can't imagine Port anywhere near this. Melbourne stay 4th, Carlton stay 5th. They become they really solidify their spot. They become 2 games ahead of 8th. So they've cemented.
If Carlton win, they're in the finals basically this week. Yeah.
St Kilda 6, Dogs jump up to 7, Giants jump up to 8, the Swans drop, we drop, Geelong drops. So Geelong are done because they're at 42, and the Giants are at 48. So Geelong are done if they lose this.
It's crazy to think though that like it's coming down to. I said it in the stream and I'll say it again. The league is very strong. If half a dozen teams can still make it into the 8 in the last week.
Yep.
Like last 2 weeks. Yeah. Like I think Freo is really the last team. Like 14th. Everyone above 14th could have made it in, like after this week.
Yeah. So Geelong, if they lose, it's done. And same thing, if St Kilda lose, then they're done because they're playing the Lions at the Gabba next week. Yeah, so this is an elimination final, basically. It's an elimination final for us as well against the Giants because if we lose now, we're still a game out, but we have to beat Collingwood and somehow smash Collingwood, and that's not happening. So this is an elimination final for us. Adelaide keep their hopes alive. Their percentage is actually better than the Giants. And the Giants play Carlton in the final round. So Adelaide could make it the 8. Oh, what a finals. What a race. And all it took was for 2 teams to be bad, for everybody else to be good. This is utilitarian thought. Greater happiness for more people.
Yep.
It's
pretty funny how that works out, isn't it?
Thank you, North Melbourne. Thank you, West Coast, for sacrificing yourselves for the greater good of the competition. Look how close it is, man. Like the difference between 17, 2 wins to 7 wins.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. It's just a hard season. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. Obviously, we're not the best team at the moment, so what can you do, right?
Just prove the top 8 is too many. It should be the top 6 only. I'm not.
Just play better, you know.
No. I'm not gonna do that. West Coast Eagles rule. I think top 8. It's been top 8 for the longest time. I think it's good. You got 18 teams. It's soon to be 19 teams. You know, it's
a while to go.
What do you mean? What, 5 years?
That's not soon,
bro. Just blink one eye, open the other eye. It's all go by, bro. Time flies when you're having fun.
Sure.
So, top 8 is fine. Dogs are losing next week. Haven't been in Geelong and continue park since Terry Wallace coached us. That's a long time. But hey, records are there to be broken, John. Ask me. We're keeping that record strong. We're not winning another final this year. Keeping it strong, mate. Sportsnut Crom should make the 8, to be honest. I think they will. If they win this game, and then who they play last game in the last round? They play against the Eagles.
Yep.
Bro. Get around Adelaide, bro. They're going to play finals.
It's just going to depend a little bit on who GWS win. So let's do the last round, right? Let's go into last round. Like Collingwood are beating you guys.
No, they're not. Upsets.
Right.
Upsets.
Get stuffed.
They got too many injuries.
Oh yeah. That'd be a Brad Scott thing. No, put it on there. Put Collingwood beating you and see if it even.
They're not beating us by 50 points.
No, sorry. Put Essendon down and see if it even matters. I don't think it even does. You guys winning. Cool. Done. All right. You're not in the top 8. So you have to win by 50 plus and no one else and nothing else changes. All right, cool. All right, next one. Yeah, I'll say that. I reckon Gold Coast beats us. Actually, no. I think North wins. I reckon North wins this game. We'll have one win. Actually, no, Jack's evil. No, we're going to lose. Put yeah, Suns. That's fine. Brisbane wins Brisbane at home. Yep. Cool. Geelong, yep. And then we got Adelaide. Adelaide's probably going to win. Yeah. Yep. All right. That's fine. Who wins out of this game? Does it even matter? No, it doesn't. Yeah, that's fine. All right. So it all comes down if GWS can beat. They're playing for their finals. There you go. Yeah, that's the difference.
And what happens here? Oh, both of them could make it.
Yeah. And then no more Essendon. Essendon don't make it in.
I actually tipped us to finish 11th, I think.
If Carlton win, what happens to the top 8? Yeah.
Adelaide. Oh, the Giants. The
So
Giants hold the key.
If Carlton win next week, Essendon don't make it in. Go back. So put Carlton. Go back. Scroll up the list. Yeah, so Essendon don't make it in. Yeah.
Because Adelaide.
Yeah. So Adelaide have got to win the next 2 games and then they're in. So, yeah.
What happens if we beat? What happens if we beat the Giants?
Yep, then they're in. Done.
Now I did facetiously put us to win by 100 points. That's not going to happen.
Yes, you did.
If we're going to beat Collingwood,
it's still 7th.
If we're going to beat Collingwood, it's like not even 10 points. All right, so if we have to win both games.
Yeah.
What happens if the Giants? If the Giants, if the Giants win, we still make it.
Yeah.
We have to beat the Giants. Globes. We beat the Giants this week, bro. We gotta pray, bro. We gotta pray. I don't know. Burn incense, burn houses. I don't know how much you have to burn in order to get our prayers up to be listened to. We have to somehow beat the Giants this week, mate. I don't know how we're gonna do it, but we have to beat the Giants this week, and we can play fine. And then we play against the Saints. This is the one team. This is the only team in the entire 8 I feel like we want to play. Like, honestly, who out of these teams do you want to play? Let's be real. It's St. Kilda, clearly, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
This is the dream scenario, Globes. The dream scenario. Dare to dream. It's only 2 weeks.
And does 5 and 6 play, or does 5 play 8?
No, 5 plays 8, bro. How long have you been following football for?
So you play St. Kilda, you probably have a chance to beat them. And then the curse will be over. No more 3,000 million games until the last days of whatever it is. Stupid big footy thread happening at the moment.
All right. Wait, Brisbane top then.
Doesn't matter.
Brisbane hosts Melbourne. So you got to go Brisbane at the Gabba.
Yep.
Carlton hosts the Swans. You reckon Carlton would win that?
Oh yeah.
I reckon we can beat the Saints. And then Collingwood hosting Port. You reckon Collingwood win?
No, I don't reckon. Go back. I don't reckon Collingwood. Yeah.
You reckon at the MCG Port would beat Collingwood?
Yeah, I think their outs are going to hurt them more against Port than anyone else.
But they're going to have their players back by this point.
Let's pretend not.
Okay then.
That's when they'll have the players back. They'll be that week.
Piss off. Piss off. No, we're going
It'll
back.
Be that week. Yeah, exactly.
We're going back. Piss off.
You're not beating Port, Joe. I don't know what you're talking. You're not going to beat Port either.
Right, we will.
You're not going to beat Port at home. How are you going to beat Port at home?
5 points. We only lost them by 5 points early in the year.
No chance you beat Port
Sammy
at home.
Draper is going to tear him apart.
Yeah. Joe's just going to tip Essendon to win the grand final.
Nah, Melbourne gets revenge, and then they'll smash us at the Gabba, and this will be a cracking game.
Nah, Melbourne win. Petrarca's going to carry them over the line.
And then we get to MCG, Melbourne win.
Yeah, done. Melbourne win again. Yeah, and that's us today. Everyone's done.
Globes, we beat the Pies twice in 3 weeks. Honestly, if that happens, you can dead set shoot me in the face, and I'm the happiest guy in the world.
You
If
can't
that
say that.
If that
Shoot
could
me in the
happen,
face.
bro, I will die the happiest man in the world. If we could beat Collingwood twice in 3 weeks, oh my god, that would be unreal.
All right. Well, I think that's me for today. I'm not sure how
It's
long.
both of us, mate.
Yeah. It's been fun, boys and girls. Thanks for coming on. We'll see you. Well, we won't see Joe. So everyone say, see you later, Joe. We'll catch you in 2 weeks. You got Big J style. I'm pretty sure I'll have some people on, hopefully. Get some other contributors to the stream. That'll be great. But yeah, we'll see Joe back in a couple of weeks.
Exactly.
Any
guys.
final words, Joe, last time you were on the show?
I'm going to miss you, boys and girls. Don't you worry about it. I'll make an AFLW fantasy team to last team, obviously before, because I'll still be overseas when the start of the AFLW begins.
Yeah.
But I will make a team for that. I'll record it and, make sure you can comment on that if you want or anything like that. I will be responding to comments. Obviously, YouTube still exists for me. It just will be a different time zone, so streams probably won't be happening for me. Love to see if it's middle of the night and I don't wake someone up, if I can jump on, this sneaky little jump on. But I think more than likely it won't be. Really appreciate all you guys. Thanks, Shawnee. Thanks, Sportsnut. Please follow the journey. Follow us. Keep an eye out. There's so much good stuff still to come. I know the AFL men's series is coming to a close, but mate, as Big J told you before, things are only just heating up for us here, continuing to pump out more content, and I'll be back before you know it.
100%. All right, catch you, fellas. Bye.
Bye, everyone.